Okay, we have another case submitted here for implants in site number 19 and number 30. According to the notes submitted, um, these sites were grafted at the time of removal, and now their patient is ready to proceed with the implants. My first question, as always, is what type of guide? And this is a perfect case for an OptiGuide. An OptiGuide does not require a radiographic appliance scan, so that typically will avoid the need for a second scan. The OptiGuide in this particular case will require a full arch scan, and by looking at the data here, we can see that we do have a very nice full arch scan, and the integration looks quite accurate there. So that's the first step. So now if we go ahead and take a look, let's go ahead and take a look at our implant sites. I went ahead and duplicated the plan so that we can do a small comparison of the sent-in plan versus the modified plan that I'll make. So in looking at this, my initial assessment is that this is a pretty straightforward case. We have a 5 by 11.5 implant, which is my preferred size for molars. We have plenty of distance to the nerve, so in fact we could even do 13, but honestly there's no reason to go that deep at this point. So a 5 by 11.5 millimeter implant is more than adequate. When we look at site number 30, the same thing holds true. We've got plenty of distance to the nerve. So really there's only one issue I see in this plan. So let us go ahead and right click, clip along active slice, and go ahead, and I like to be able to always look at the scan um, this way, and then we can lock it in place, because if you notice when we go from axial to cross-sectional, this changes. So what if I want to always look at it from here? Right click and clip, lock clipping region, and this, as we change windows, will always keep the scan on that section right there. So in taking a look at this, everything looks really good, but the only things I would point out here, and these are the things I would change, are if we take a look at this from the dead occlusal view, we can see that these implants look like they're tilted out. They're coming out of the center of the tooth, but they look like they're tilted out. So same thing on this side. So that also corresponds with my one change I would make it on these particular cases. So in looking at this, the only thing that I see that I'm unhappy with is our occlusal plane. Our occlusal plane, if we take a look at it like so, is tilted down, which would correspond to these implants being coming out at a not a straight angle. So remember, what we want is our occlusal plane to be nice and level. So if we take a look at it in the buccolingual view, everything's good, bone level's good, mesiodistal is good. There's only one thing we need to change. And what I want you to do is take a peek here in this. So I know from experience that to make this level, I'm going to tilt the bottom of the implant to the mesial, about yay much, and now we'll see that we have a nice level occlusal plane. But in doing that, what do we do to the axis of the implant? We moved it all the way here to the distal. So to correct that, we'll simply slide the implant back over to the middle. And there we go, boom. Now we have a really nice implant plan that is centered and maintains a nice occlusal plane, so that our forces will be coming along the long axis and forces of the teeth. So now we'll go over here to, let me go back here. Just like so. Now we can design a great emergence profile and everything. Now we'll go over to number 30, and the same thing we see here. In fact, it's a little more dramatic over here, that we can see our occlusal plane is quite a bit tilted up. So again, with this one, we'll tilt it backwards, just like so. And as soon as I do that, we can see how my occlusal plane now looks much better. We'll go ahead and bring it back over to the middle, and boom. Now we have another nice implant plan. So hopefully this makes sense, and we understand why we're doing that. And if we take a look here as well, now if we take a look as we look down the dead axis, notice how these holes look pretty straight versus tilted. So if I take a look at the original plan, see how we're looking there? The implant's coming out compared to the new plan. Boom, on number 30. And then let's take a look at number 19, the new plan compared to the original plan. So it's these little things that make all the difference in the world. The original plan will certainly work, no problem. But if we're going to go through the process of guided surgery, my preference is to make sure that we get it exactly right. So hopefully you found this helpful, and thank you for submitting your case.